Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome to today's video. For those of you who are new, this may be your first time coming across my channel, watching one of my videos, which means you're probably not yet subscribed. Welcome, my name is Tyler with an O, and for those of you who are already my people, already subscribed and just returning for another video, welcome on back. You see the food, you know what time it is, we about to eat. For people who are new to this channel, this ain't the first time that I've done it. For people who are true to this channel, you know it's been a little while since we came and ate something together. What I have here for you on today is some pad see ew, Thai food. This is like one of my favorite things to eat. Like I can't eat this enough. I usually get it with pork, however today I got it with some chicken, and lately I've been getting it with chicken just because, I don't know, pork isn't so good for you to eat. I mean, it's still, I'm not gonna ever, I don't think, say like, oh, I don't eat pork, but I just feel like when I have the options with certain foods, I'm gonna start choosing pork a little less. But you know, if I, want a pork chop, I'm gonna eat a pork chop. There's no substitute for a smothered pork chop. I don't care what you say. I already finished most of my little beverage, but I got some Coca-Cola. I've tried to only drink water, but we had a cookout the other day, and I got hella soda left, and I'm just trying to finish this to get rid of it. I do love me a Coca-Cola, so I ain't going front, but I have been doing better with trying to drink more water too. Anyway, Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, pad see ew. It's like the, I'm gonna use my hands because it's my food. Like flat noodles. So they're wide, flat noodles. The chicken, of course. And I'm sure there's like other flavors and garlic and stuff. But what separates this one apart is the Chinese broccoli in it. Whereas if you get like pad ki mao or drunken noodles, it's the same thing, flat noodle, whatever type of meat, but the vegetable is like peppers. Like, I don't know if it's bell peppers, but it's like peppers and onions. But pad see ew has Chinese broccoli. And I love Chinese broccoli. I was watching someone's live on Instagram, and one of the people down in the little comment section was like, talk about failed friendships. And I was like, huh. That's interesting. The person didn't end up even like seeing or acknowledging the comment, so they didn't talk about it. But when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's like a, when people do like advice videos or chit chat videos, it's always like, about relationships or self-motivation, but nobody ever talks about like friendships. And I feel like all of us have friends in some capacity. And I just feel like as of recently, as I've been developing and blossoming, I've learned quite a bit. I should say I've had a lot of more experience with friendships. Just like to give you some background, me personally, I'm a person that really values friendships. Like, my friends, are closer to me than most of my relatives are. And that's no shade, it's just true tea. All tea, no shade. My friends know more about me than my family members do. My friends, know what I like and what I dislike and what I believe in and what I stand for and all that other stuff. Like, my friends support me through a lot of the things that I do. A lot of which my family doesn't even know about, that I'm involved in or interested in or anything like that. Most of my life experiences, even going back to like my first times ever going camping, or, just different experiences like that, some traveling I've done with my friends. So I just say all that to say, like, friendships are very important to me. Healthy friendships are very important to me. So when I think of like a failed friendship, I'm not thinking of like, oh, we had a falling out and somebody did something, they wronged me in some way and we're not friends anymore. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you get to an area where you kind of just feel like you've outgrown each other, because that happens and it's okay, and that's what I'm going to talk about. But there's certain situations, like, I'll give an example. I had a friend, very, very close friend of mine. We were like inseparable. When you saw him, you saw me. If they see me, they're like, oh, where's so-and-so? Or they see him, vice versa. Like, we were just that close of friends. And that was my first person, you know, I ever would hit up to do anything, invite them anywhere. You know, and that was just somebody I saw as a lifelong friend. Fast forward to today, we don't speak. It's no hard feelings, but we just don't speak. We just kind of grew apart. And this kind of I don't by any means want to say that this was a toxic friendship, but this is some of the elements that I observe when I say like a healthy friendship. I don't believe that this was a healthy friendship. I don't believe that friendship should be work. I don't believe you have to work to maintain a friendship with someone in the way that you would, you know, a marriage. That's different. I believe what you know makes people true friends, real friends, good friends is a well, definite level of mutual respect, but also just like you're not forced to be with each other. You're not forced to be involved and in communication with each other. You're not forced to hang out. So if you're going to do those things, then it should purely be out of positivity. You know what I'm saying? Like, in none of my real friendships do I feel like I ever have to walk on ice around somebody, tiptoe around them, always check in and make sure we're good. Like, are we okay? I believe that you have friends in your life. Your friends should be friends with you for who you are authentically. You should be able to be yourself around your close group of friends authentically. When you go to work, you behave differently than you do outside of work, because those aren't, you know, those aren't your friends. Those are your coworkers. You may be friends with some of your coworkers, but they're not like your good friends who know your deepest, darkest tea. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I leave work and then come hang out with you and I'm still putting on a front or not being my true self, then that's like toxic for me, and I don't like that. And that's what I started to see in some of my friendships. My biggest issue with friendships, and I don't know if I would categorize these as like failed friendships, but I guess this would just be like disappointments in friendships. If you believe in like astrology, you know, I'm a Leo, and I would deem myself as very loyal. I'm a very loyal person. I always am the one to make sure my friends are good. I want to make sure my friends are having a good time. I'll do, you know, X, Y, and Z for my friends just to make sure they're comfortable or make sure they're good, or I want them to have this experience, or I want them to have this, so I'll buy it for them. I want them to taste some of this smacking ass pads to you, so, you know, I'll let them get it. Whereas just me personally, I don't like to share. I'm just very much to myself, you know, but with my friendships, that's the exception. So where the disappointment comes in is because I feel so strongly and care so much about my friends' happiness and well-being and overall experience whenever they're around me. And it just really sucks when it's not reciprocated. So that's what I wanted to talk about as well when it comes to kind of like failed friendships or toxic friendships. Is like, don't feel because you consider someone a close friend, or they may consider you a close friend, best friend, what have you, that still doesn't mean that now you are obligated to be in a situation where there's no reciprocity. I have friends where it's like, you know they can come to me for anything. I'm very handy, resourceful, you know, I'm good with technology, whatever the case might be. And so there's a lot of situations where it's like, oh, can you help me with this? Can you, you know, pick this up for me? Can you look up how to do this? Can you find a good place for me to go there? And, you know, I'm always dispensing those things because it's my friends. You know, I look out for them. But then when the tables are turned, in the few instances that I ever do need something from, you know, some of those people, crickets. There's nowhere to be found. I always use the example of like moving, and like moving really kind of shows, I think that's a good test of like, you know, who your friends are. You guys have seen when I moved, you have all these people in your circle want to kick it with you, coming in your house, eating up your food. You know, when you throw a party, they want to be invited, all that other stuff. But then when it's time to move, hey, I need help moving. Oh, I'm busy that day. Funny, because I didn't tell you what day I was moving. So, stuff like that. Nobody likes to move. Nobody likes to move. It's strenuous. It's a lot of work. It's hot. We live in Las Vegas. I get it. But I will always be there for my friends in a time of need. Whether it be moving, whether it be an emergency situation. But when it gets to levels where I can't say the same about the people, you know, in my life, that's really disappointing to me, and it's a real eye-opener. When you're in close friendships that aren't reciprocal, it kind of starts to just take a toll on you, and this is why use the word toxic, because it starts kind of poisoning you, is because, like, you know, those people will take advantage of your kindness. Like, oh, Tyler's a good friend, or Tyler's reliable. Tyler will do it. He knows how to do this stuff, or oh, he wouldn't mind if I ask him to do it, and that's fine. And I love that my friends can view me in that way. But then it just kind of gets to a point where they're just like taking and taking and taking, whether I'm offering it or not. But they just like take, and then there's never any like giving. I can look at pretty much all of my friendships and think like, wow, I'm a really good friend to this person. You know, I've been a really good friend to them, and I can see why they find me as reliable, or why they come to me about X, Y, and Z, or feel like they can talk to me about anything. But then when I turn the table around, I'm just like, can I come to that person about anything? Like, do they go out of their way to make me feel comfortable in certain environments? Do they consider my feelings and my well-being when certain situations happen? You know, will this person defend me the way that I defend them around other people, you know, regardless of circumstance and stuff like that? Like, is our friendship unconditional, or are we only friends so long as I fulfill X, Y, and Z expectations? You know what I'm saying? And these are some of the questions that it's okay to ask yourself. It's not any type of, don't feel like you're betraying anybody by looking out for yourself. And if somebody is a good friend and cares about you, they would want you to be just as happy as they are, right? Like I said, I have friends that we kind of just grew apart. We maybe had a few like disagreements. We don't see eye to eye on certain things. We're not enemies. If I see them in the streets, we'll still speak. We still follow each other on social media. I still support them, like their content, whatever, what have you. But we just kind of grew apart. And I feel like it's just like a maturity thing, that after a certain point, y'all gotta learn to stop like fighting each other, like fighting with people, or like, just because we don't talk all the time, or we're not at the same level of friendship as we used to be, doesn't mean that we're not cool, or like you're on my bad side, or you can't, you know what I'm saying? And I just think that that's kind of real immature. I don't know. And I feel like I've done a lot of growing up to realize and understand that like a failed relationship, a friendship, or a toxic friendship, you can separate yourself from that friendship without now being enemies. I don't know if this is making sense, but it's just like, in terms of the questions like, what do you do about failed friendships, or how do you handle a friendship that you guys aren't friends anymore, or you guys just stop getting along? You don't have to do anything. Fall back. I'm not saying fall back as in cut them off. I'm not saying ghost them. I'm not saying block them. What I'm saying is just stop putting your all into, you know, don't give someone 100% if they're only going to give you 40. So an example of what that would look like if yeah, I'm trying to use examples that aren't so, because I have examples in my daily life, but I don't want to use those because I don't want to target anybody or any situation specifically. Friends, and I can talk about this situation because these are my friends who I know will never watch my videos. So I know they don't support my YouTube stuff, they don't watch my videos, they don't support the channel. So I can speak on this because they're never gonna watch it. And these are my friends. You see, a lot of the people I surround myself with are, you know, trying to be entrepreneurs. They're starting businesses. They're doing things, especially capitalizing off of like social media. And it takes $0 to promote someone's stuff, to repost or share anything. I have things that I'm doing as well, like my YouTube channel, for example. It doesn't cost you anything to share a link, to repost a video, whatever. I don't ask that of anyone. I don't. I appreciate it. Some of my friends, they truly want to see my channel get more views, more subscribers. So they just share it out of the kindness of their hearts. I appreciate it. But I have these friends where, you know, they're promoting things on whatever, and the only time I hear from them, literally the only time I'll ever really hear from them is I'll get a message and it'll just be like, you know, something related to their business, and they're basically not even asking me but expecting me to share this. Like, here, I'm gonna send this to you so you can post it on your page. And it's just like, you know, the first few times it's like, okay, yeah, definitely want to support my friend's business all the way. But then like, you just kind of peep game and you're like, wait a minute, like, y'all don't ever invite me to like hang out anymore. Like, we used to hang out and stuff a lot. you know, we would talk. I can call you on the phone and we would talk about anything. Now, when I call, you never answer. You don't invite me out anymore. In fact, one of the shadiest moments, and this made me really sad, and maybe I'm overthinking, but like we had like a group Christmas thing and we like decorated the tree and everything together with like a bunch of friends. But like I was, you know, one of the closer friends to them, and I was, you know, and then there was a lot of other strays who kind of came in and plus ones and stuff like that. But then it came time to like, oh, you guys, let's all take a group picture, you know. And so I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then it was like, oh, Tyler, can you take a picture of all of us? And I was like, wait a minute, like, but then I'm not gonna be in the picture, you know. Like, why not necessarily why don't you want me in the picture, but why are you okay with not having me in the picture? Like, not, you know what I'm saying? And that same situation started to happen more and more frequently. And this just kind of goes into a whole other topic I could talk about with friends, the kind of like only wanting to feature you if you add to their aesthetic, especially when it comes to like the whole black, gay, LGBT scene community. Certain types of people, i.e. like when you have friends who consider themselves more DL or are straight acting or straight passing, whatever, a lot of times they're not going to feature, promote, or acknowledge their friendships. You know, they'll be friends with somebody who's a little more flamboyant on the low. But then like you'll post pictures and selfies, you post it up with all your straight looking friends or all your DL friends, all your friends who look, you know, who dress a certain way and act a certain way or could pass, whatever, because you don't want your TL on the internet. But like me and you are the closest of friends, and you won't even post a picture with me because I might get you clocked. And like that's like the bigger example, and this is the same people that I'm talking about, mind you, the same friends that I'm talking about. So yeah, I would only hear from them when it came to like promoting their stuff or whatever. And then, or I would hear from them when it's like, oh, can you do this for me? Or can you come by and pick this up or take care of this? Or I'm out of town, can you watch my dog? I'm out of town, can you check on the house? Can you do this? And it's just like, yeah, of course, you're my friend, you know? But then I didn't hear from them any other time. And so it just kind of dawned on me that like, I see why they keep me around. Like when it comes to like the fun stuff and the friend stuff, it's never, hey Tyler, wanna hang out this weekend? Hey, wanna go to this place with me? Or let's plan a trip, let's do this, I'm throwing a party, come over, we're having an event. All of that just kind of stopped. And now the only time I hear from these people to this day is when they want me to do something. Or if they are like having a party or something like that, they want me to come, but they want me to come because they know that I don't show up empty-handed. It's always like, oh yeah, here's the address, and bring a bottle. Or if I text them and be like, oh, I'm on my way, they'll be like, okay, can you stop by the store and get X, Y, and Z? And you know, that's again, I would do that for my friends, and they know that I would do that, and that's why they ask me. But what I have an issue with is now when I get there, all the other people that you invited or were in communication with, you didn't ask them to bring a bottle. They all show up empty-handed. You didn't ask any of them, like, and sometimes I'll be there, and then I'll be there when they get the call and somebody's like, oh, you know, hey, so-and-so, I'm on the way, da-da-da, and they'll be like, all right, cool, see you soon. There was no like, hey, can you stop by the store and get, you know what I'm saying? So just kind of be mindful, and I could be wrong, but it's something that I feel, and my feelings are valid, and that's what I want to express to you, is that don't let, you know, a friendship, invalidate how you feel, and communicate this with that person. But if it just comes off as, okay, you're tripping, like, whatever, then it's like, okay, well, you know, I'm not gonna be that bring a bottle person for you anymore. I'm not gonna come over and walk your dog when you're out of town anymore. Like, you have all these other friends, all those people that you want to take selfies with, all those people that you want to tag in your group pictures and all that other stuff, and that you invite, whatever, ask them to do those things for you. Because you don't treat me the same as you treat your other friends. But you ask more of me than you do from them because you know that I'm gonna do it. Now it's just getting on a rant. But that same situation I find myself in because I'm such a giving and loyal friend. And I can name at least 4 friends that I have right now that I feel this way about. And it wasn't until maybe about like yesterday where I finally just kind of decided, well, a couple days ago, where I was like, okay, that was kind of like the last straw. Like, I've been giving it a chance. I've been waiting for things to change, and I brought it to their attention. And at this point, it's just kind of like they don't care. They feel like, oh, he ain't going nowhere. He's loyal. Like, he values me as a friend, so he's not going anywhere. And it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna let you think that. Again, I'm not saying we're enemies. I'm not gonna do you dirty in any type of way. But also, I'm just not gonna make myself so available because it's draining. With everything going on right now, I'm drained. Emotionally, I'm just drained. And I just wanna have, positive friendships and relationships and be around people that I know value me other than what I can do for them. I've eaten about, I know it looks like a lot, but that's like, I've eaten about half from where it was like filled to the top, So that's good for that. But yeah, in closing, I guess what I just kind of want to touch on is like, if you're like me, then you often feel obligated to be something for somebody, to do something for somebody, because you value your friendships. Then you want to be the best friend to everyone that you can when you have people close to you. And what I'm saying is, you're not wrong for feeling that way, but also just be mindful of who you're doing that for and what all you're doing for them, and how much it's taking out of you. If you start to get to a point where you feel like it's a lot of work to be this person's friend, like I have to give a lot to be this person's friend, and it's not fulfilling, there's no reciprocity, they're not really pouring anything back into me, and now I'm just working to maintain my friendship with this person because I don't want to lose them as a friend, then it's like, are you really enjoying that? Like, is it really worth having that friendship in your life? And furthermore, if you kind of stop doing those things, would those people still want you around? Would they still consider you a friend? That was just something to think about, something that was on my heart to come and talk to you. Somebody needed to hear that. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below on what you thought about the topic, anything else you'd like to see on this channel, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any more of this Tyler with the No goodness. And I'll catch you on the next video. Peace. Now I come to you with open arms, hoping you see what your love means to me. Open arms, hallelujah.